Okay, now we went from kind of a crazy look that may, I love it. Now, the only thing with doing something that's maybe that bold and lots of color is, I would love that in my house. I would love that. Some people want very boring, very subtle. Let's not say boring. Let's say very classy, timeless designs, okay? So one of the classy, timeless designs is obviously the Carrara marble that we did, okay? That's very simple. Another is soapstone. All right, the only problem, anybody know what a problem with soapstone is on a countertop?
Yeah, you can stain it.
Extremely soft. It stains, it chips, hard to clean, always having to put a sealer on it, all the things, but they're gorgeous. And if you guys would ever just go look on Google under images, under soapstone, you'll see there's a huge variety. There's some that are very subtle with just a few lines. There's some that are very busy. So again, you can kind of create whatever, but most of them, or every soapstone that I've ever seen, is a matte finish. You very rarely will see a soapstone that's super shiny. That's just not the nature of the stone. So if you do see one, like if you walk into a house and see a soapstone, you're either gonna, and it's super shiny, you're gonna say either that's fake or they have some sort of really heavy coating that's making it gloss, because a natural soapstone is a very, very porous, very, very matte looking finish. So anytime I do a soapstone, I always have a matte UTC put on it so that you get that real pretty matte finish. Alrighty, so again, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with a very basic finish, and we're gonna go into creating a more elaborate design. So at any point when you create your piece, you can stop. You don't have to do what I'm doing, okay? All right, so 3 ounces again per square foot. Now, I forgot to tell y'all, on that finish that we just did, that was 4 ounces per square foot, okay? And I did have a little bit, well, I just wanted to have enough to play with. We did have a little bit left over. So when the rubber meets the road, it was probably just a little bit over 3 ounces per square foot on that finish. And you'll see, when we first did it, it looks like we weren't gonna have enough epoxy. You're like, oh my God. But what happens? It leveled out, right? That's why your design changes over time, is because it's moving. One thing that's super important to know is when you're pouring, make sure you're pouring on a surface that's very level. If not, your epoxy is gonna run. And I will tell you, this is an old welding table and there's a hump right there. So if I were to just leave this, it would all go right there. Okay, so you'll often see me turn this thing around because it's gonna cheat, it's gonna tell on me. Now we're starting to get warmer in here, so I don't necessarily have to torch before I start. It's more of a habit, and it helps it warm it up a little bit, and then it makes it easier. So when I spread it out, it just makes it easier. All right, so we're gonna start off with, kind of like we did the Carrara marble, we're gonna start off with a very, very simple, very, very basic design. So veins, I'm gonna tell you right now, those are gonna be something you need to practice. All right, there is a little learning curve to getting them done. The key is, don't start right here in the middle. Start off the board, get your cup next to where you're gonna start, okay? And then you're gonna just go straight. Don't do squiggly lines. All right, that's gonna come later. First of all, you're not gonna see squiggly lines in nature. I'm just gonna do a few. I'll do a little bold one, slow it down a little bit. Come over here. All right, so super simple, super easy, super boring, until you hit it with a little bit of alcohol. Then you're gonna make these veins get very organic. All right, that right there
Money.
is money, money, money. That right there is so easy to do. I've done several of these on really big islands, and they look amazing. I did an RV, the Flipping Nomad. If anybody ever watches them, they're an RV renovation company. We've done a lot of work for them. We did this one showpiece where the table, the bar, everything in there that was any kind of countertop, we did like this, except the bathroom, we reversed it. It was white with black. It was so stunning, so simple, and it just was amazing. If you obviously are doing something big, it's hard to do it with a little popsicle stick to get your lines all the way across. So what you can do is get a Ziploc baggie, put your white in the Ziploc baggie, cut a hole, and now you have a piping, okay? And that you think, oh, well, she learned that from cooking. I did not. I do not cook. So I just thought it would be cool to do that.
So bags now.
Huh?
They actually make silicone piping bags now.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
You can use a
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Or you can hang from the ceiling on a jacket and then just go like that. Okay. So see how easy that is? Super easy. Now let's take it to the next step. You notice the background is just a solid black, right? There's no background noise. There's no really cool designs in the background, but now there's fixing to be. All right, take your hand, and now all we're gonna do is very lightly meld this out, and you're just barely touching it, just like you're gonna pet a kitten. Just enough to get those lines out. Then you're gonna wait
Like you did with that
about 30 seconds or so, and the reason we're waiting is we're allowing, look what's happening. That dye, they're fighting each other. And they're kind of creating a cool little marble look. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna come back and we're gonna create the same thing. Again, you need to decide how are you going to, what's your design gonna look like? And you will see, ever so often, you will see 90-degree angles. And I kind of want this to be kind of a bit, and you're gonna see why here in a minute. I like to kind of, when you have little blobs of color, it looks really cool when you hit it with the alcohol.
What goes up must always come back down. I'll be safe in your
All right, now watch. When I hit it, look what happens to the background. Now we have background noise. How cool is that? So now if you want, and you'll notice that in a lot of the soapstones, the lines aren't always white. You can build depth. Even though I'm doing darker lines, you're gonna like, well, you're not gonna see them. You'll see them just enough. Very cool. And you're gonna see things like that in real natural stone. You guys are gonna do what first?
Basic black.
Basic black, yes. Black first, very subtle white. Ooh and ah, that's great. Take a picture, then you're gonna smear it. All right, now let me warn you. If you do your first layer with a lot of white lines, when you smear, your background is gonna be way noisy, okay? Because now when you hit it with the alcohol, all that white. So I will tell you, be very very conservative on your first layer of white. So then what are we gonna do? After we smear it, we're gonna
Draw more lines.
a minute or two, let it move. You can even maybe tilt it a little bit to get those marbly lines to move. Okay, I wouldn't add heat. Don't add heat, because if we add heat, we're making it more fluid and you're gonna lose a lot of your marbling. Okay, so then what are we gonna do? So start with your white lines first, a few. Now, do you see how I have a lot of little lines, but I have strategically placed bigger lines? So when my eye looks, it looks balanced, okay? Also, nature likes odd numbers, right? So I have 3 areas that my eye goes to. If I had 2, it would look, So you wanna do 3, 5, odd numbers, and that just kind of keeps balance. I learned that in horticulture class of all things. And then you can start tinting. You can start tinting your white and build it to where it's darker like we did here. Okay? Super easy. Like Mitch said, if you did a whole slab of this, just think you can have something that looks like soapstone, but it's not gonna have the care that it takes for soapstone.